In some rare cases, uncontrolled emotions have led to deadly consequences, such as convicts killing themselves in court in front of the whole world. In this video, we'll explore the tragic cases of convicts who were killed in court and left everyone in never-ending shock. Number 1. Siale Angelao. We are all prone to making choices. Sometimes some of us make ones that are not so wise. A young man by the name of Sial never knew a choice he made led him to a sudden and very sad end. Siali, 25 years old, was reportedly part of a team called the Tongan Crip Gang. This wasn't just any team. It was known as one of the most feared ones in Utah. Now let us not forget that each coin has its other side. In 2008, Angelao found himself in a pool of people who were suspects of a big 29-count indictment related to racketeering. The indictment blamed the suspected gang members on suspicion of conspiracy, assault, robbery, and illegal weapon possession. At 6 feet 3 inches in height and weighing 260 pounds, Angelao was quite a formidable figure. Other than the reported racketeering charges, he was also wrapped up in a number of incidents. This included a chain of robberies where it is claimed that he scared local store owners. He is reported to have assaulted federal officials. If this wasn't enough, he had also been accused of threatening people with a gun. In the case of Angelao, however, his case did not end that fast. By the time Angelao was the last defendant to face trial, it took years. His conviction was quite significant, therefore. Expect the unexpected. In 2014, something big happened in this long-running case. This prisoner, allegedly knowing much of inside operations, decided to turn hostile and take Angelao down. Angelao completely felt betrayed, and sometimes when you think it can't get any worse, it does. On a day riddled with choices, the courtroom officers made one to allow Angelao to be unrestrained in front of the jury, assuming he would behave reasonably. But the future had other plans. Just as the witness took to the stand, the most astonishing thing happened. Angelao stood up, grabbed a pen, and then rushed to the witness stand and started fighting. In an instant, 4 shots were fired and the witness went down. Number 2. Mary Ann Bachmeier. Truth is sometimes stranger than fiction, and when it comes to the world of law and justice, some stories leave us wide-eyed and speechless. The case of a mom named Mary Ann Bachmeier falls into that category. This strong woman's world turned upside down when she lost her beloved daughter to the cruel villain Klaus Grabowski. When Mary Ann stepped into that courtroom, her heart was heavy. Her mission was unmistakable: to get justice for her lost little one, killed by brutishly Klaus Grabowski, the kind of justice that the legal system might not have delivered. The scene unfolded like a movie. She now admitted having thought of taking a straight shot at his face, but instead was firm to take him by surprise. Therefore, with boom, 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 7 shots exited her gun. Deep in her heart, she felt that she had given the punishment he deserved to this heartless criminal. It was not to the liking of all that Mary Ann Bachmeier had chosen to take this bit of personal justice into her hands. Some thought she should have waited for the wheels of justice to begin turning. These individuals reasoned that in taking the law into her hands, she had become a thunderbolt herself, different from the evil man who callously took her daughter's life. Number 3. David Paradiso. The then 29-year-old Paradiso wasn't taken to court for having given a slap. No, he stood accused of the heinous assault on his poor girlfriend. He'd stabbed her ruthlessly into her neck and left her lifeless body abandoned along a roadside. It started as any other day, with an argument in the back seat of his mom's car between him and his girlfriend Eileen Pelt. To this date, no one truly knows what that argument was about. But this verbal argument soon turned into a physical fight. Paranoid Paradiso would later say that he thought at one point his girlfriend wanted to kill him, so he decided to attack first. The heartless attack was followed by Paradiso taking his own mother hostage and forcing her to drive him to Amador County. He abandoned his girlfriend's body there, but he did not get too far. The law was hot on his heels and a gripping court trial got underway. This was no ordinary case, and the stunning finale was far from predictable. His lawyers did their best to prove his innocence by claiming that Paradiso had been in a dense condition of drugs during the attack. His mother also continuously mentioned the decline in his mental state. On the 4th of March, 2009, Paradiso was allowed to tell his version, However, during a brief recess, Paradiso made an unexpected attack on Judge Cinda Fox with a weapon he had kept hidden. The usually peaceful courtroom turned into chaos. Fast-acting law enforcement opened fire on Paradiso in the head, instantly killing him. His mother would later relate that she had tried to tell the officers he was unstable and might be armed, but her warnings fell on deaf ears. Thanks to good luck, Judge Fox only had minor injuries due to the attack. While being escorted out of the courtroom, she was able to shout to reporters that she was all right. As for Paradiso, his journey down a brutal and destructive path ended on that fateful day. Number 4. Brian Nichols. It was the 11th of March, 1995, and destiny had chosen a man named Brian Nichols to do such a fearful thing. Nichols, who was in the middle of trial litigation on charges of assault and abduction, left 4 innocent people dead in a courtroom. He somehow mistakenly believed that he would get away with the sentences of his previous crimes. He actually didn't realize how he was piling up his long criminal record by his actions. Nichols spotted his first victim, Sheriff Deputy Cynthia Hall, at the Fulton County Courthouse, dressing up for a change. Poor, unsuspecting deputy found herself at the receiving end of the savage assault as Nichols managed to snatch her Glock service pistol and rendered the deputy unconscious. Alas, his horrifying reign of terror was only just started. The next victims to fall prey to his terrorizing move were case managers Susan Christie and Gina Clark Thomas and attorney David Allman. Nichols held them hostage at gunpoint, taken from his hijacked gun threats, forcing them to take him up to Judge Barnes's chambers, the very judge presiding over his criminal trial. Sergeant Grantley White tried and unfortunately failed to strip Nichols of his gun. He became another hostage in the process of Nichols' lethal ransom. Things got really scary when Nichols burst into Judge Barnes' courtroom. He killed Barnes and shot the court reporter, Julianne Brando. He went further to shoot Sergeant Hoy Teasley. By that time, he had already brought his terrible tally to 4 victims. He hijacked cars, terrified people with his gun, and was able for a while to keep the police off his tail. Well, you probably don't know it, but the manhunt for Nichols was among the largest ever in America. His face showed up on America's Most Wanted, and a big fat $65,000 reward for any information leading to his capture appeared. In one last-ditch effort, Nichols kidnapped a lady by the name of Ashley Smith and shot the ICE Special Agent David G. Wilhelm, swiping his badge, gun, and pickup truck. But as they say, it went like, what goes around comes around. Things weren't looking so great for Nichols. The lady that he had kidnapped was brave enough to tip off the cops, which led to Nichols finally waving the white flag after a 7-hour standoff. His tale of terror ended at an FBI office, where he came clean about everything on video. On May 5, 2005, Nichols was against the ropes. He was indicted on no less than 54 counts, including murder, kidnapping, armed robbery, and fleeing from law enforcement. His defense team did try to play the insanity card, pleading not guilty. But of course, the evidence stacked against him was a mountain too high to climb. It took the jury just 12 hours to declare Nichols guilty of everything. On December 13, 2008, he was hit with multiple life sentences, never to walk free. And that brings us to today. Brian Nichols today sits permanently in the Georgia Diagnostic and Classification State Prison, where he more than likely will spend the rest of his days serving for the crimes he committed. So these are just a few examples of shocking and chilling crimes that have taken place in courtrooms. These cases serve as a reminder that justice is not always served in the way we expect, and the line between sanity and insanity can often be blurred. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.